Make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other.
I'll share you my perspective on this. So we have thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Sometimes we think of our sensation as that's our body, and that our thoughts, our feelings are in our head. Right? So thoughts, feelings, and sensations. We have our nervous system, the human nervous system has a capability to integrate and amplify thoughts, feelings, and sensations. That capability is imagination. That's why loss of imagination is so critical, because when imagination is repressed or suppressed, that means we're not able to bring together our thoughts, feelings, and sensations into a coherent image that guides our action. Empathy, being an act of imagination, means a particular situation, a particular person affects us. And in affecting us, we have thoughts in terms of how we've been affected, we have feelings, and we have sensations. And empathic imagination is able to gather all of that. And because there's the coherence of that integration, we're able to respond in a way that is truly responsive to the other.
So it's a bit of an integration of those different qualities of feeling, imagination, thoughts.
Yes, our experience is made up of thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And at the core of our experience are our images. So we can speak about the imaginal core of experience. And that empathic imagination is the mode of imagining that lets us be in an intimate relationship with the other, even when the circumstances are not intimate. But because of empathy, we are in a type of connection with the other person that is intimate.
So if you kind of felt what empathy feels like in your body, how would you describe it as a felt experience?
I experience empathy in terms of thoughts, feelings, and sensations. That there can be what we would call physical or somatic sensations. And there are feelings tend to be more in the chest, and thoughts are everywhere, not just in the head. You know, a real thought is something that has all of you, and when it has all of you, it has a quality of trustworthiness. Well, here's an experience of sympathy, of course, which is the foundation. You might say sympathy. The sympathy, being present enough and open enough to feel sympathetic, lets the next capability of empathy emerge, and then over time that becomes the capacity of compassion. So here's an experience of sympathy I had. My mother was speaking about something and began to weep. And my sister and I were sitting there and listening as best as we could. My niece, who was maybe a year and a half at the time, she was present, and she just slowly came up to my mother and wiped her tears. And that was very comforting to my mother, something my sister and I did not offer her, that kind of connection and sympathy. You know, Desmond Tutu wrote a book called No Future Without Forgiveness. And following that, we could also say no future without